Hi everyone, Gretchen Holmes, 3-time cancer survivor, diabetic, and I lost 110 pounds. I want to talk a little bit about how that happened. I've been obese or morbidly obese my whole life, and we all have reasons for why that might be the case, and we all have something that we're all dealing with, that's for sure. In my case, it was being obese. And I never could quite figure out why I was having so much trouble losing the weight. But when I was diagnosed diabetic in 2021, that shook me to my core. That scared me way more than having cancer, even though at one point I was stage 4. But diabetes, I'd been watching my younger brother fight diabetes for over 10 years. And he'd already lost a leg. He was already on dialysis. And I realized in that moment that that was my future, because there was no reason why it shouldn't be my future. So I decided that day that I needed to make some changes, and I needed to do it in a way that sustained, that was a permanent lifestyle change. And now I'd done this many times before, but it never really stuck. I'd lose 100 pounds or 60 pounds, and then of course at some point I'd gain it back and then some. But this time had to be different because literally my life depended upon it. So what did I do? So I joined a weight loss program. Well, that was a start. But then I also started counseling, and I started working with a coach. And here's what I found out. That everything that's going on the outside, everything we see on the outside is driven by what's going on the inside. That all of the goals and the dreams and the things that we want to have that manifest on the outside, they all start on the inside. I had no idea. I thought it was just about punishing myself and restricting calories and beating myself up. And then I realized after all these years, at any point did I ever find anything good come my way from beating myself up, from saying nasty, terrible things to myself. And I realized, no, nothing ever did come my way. Nothing good ever came my way from doing that. So that needed to change. I realized that I needed to learn to love myself. And I think for the very first time, I took the time and I focused my energies on looking at myself and what was really amazing about me. Not all my faults, not all my negative attributes, not all the ways that I have failed and what I didn't achieve, but really took a look at what I have not only done, but who I am. As a daughter, as a wife, as a mom, as a sister, as a person, as somebody who was put here for a reason. I really needed to learn how to embrace her. And that made all the difference. Because over the last few years, I have been on this transformational journey from the inside out. And I found that as I started healing the inside and I started changing the tapes in my head and how I talked about myself, to tell myself I was worthy, that I was lovable, that I was an amazing person just as I am, no matter what the scale said, no matter what I looked like, I was an amazing person and I was worthy. Then the outside started to change. Because no longer was I self-soothing and trying to make up for whatever way I was feeling with food. Because I was feeling good on the inside. I was feeling like I mattered. And nobody did that for me. That is something I realized I could do myself. Because what I found, and this is the good news, is that we have everything we need inside to live the kind of life that we want to live. We just have to trust ourselves. We have to embrace ourselves. We have to realize we are just as important as everybody else. And that's a big step for many of us.